And also, the only other thing is just the fact that we did the thing over in Paris with, do you know Steve Katz?
Steve Katz from the Blues Project and the Blood, Sweat, and Tears and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he produced the thing over there. And
Mm-hmm.
they had listened to Bruce's recordings, and they hired me on the basis of that. I was on tour with Bruce, and we were in Regina, and I got a phone call that I wasn't in. The road manager took it and told me that somebody had called me, and it was Steve Katz, and they wanted me to go to Paris to do an album. And I thought it was a big joke, so I said, sure, tell them to send me my plane fare, and I'll go right over. And when I got back, there was another message here for me, and it turned out to be like a real thing. So I returned the call, and they said that they wanted to know if I was interested. They would send me a tape, and I said, well, I'll go. It sounds great. They said, no, you listen to the tape first and tell me if they were looking specifically for people to fit the whole project. It wasn't that they were just hiring guys to come and play. So I went, I listened to the tape, and I really liked what they did, and so that we finalized everything, and then they flew me over to Paris, and we were in the south of, about 40 kilometers south of Paris, in a place called Longueville.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the chateaus they have there. Oh, it was great. The people over there were far more than I ever expected as far as hospitality and that. They were very warm, and the music was nice.
Was it Steve Katz record, or he just produced?
No, Steve was producing it. The band was a band named Rose,
Mm-hmm.
and it was David Rose and Serge Paratonnerre and Basile Leroux, three fellas from Paris. Actually, David Rose is from Washington. He's
Mm-hmm.
American, but he's been over there for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had a few albums out, and they just did some change in direction, and they wanted to do a new one. So they got Steve Katz and Dennis Oppenheimer involved from the States, and they went over there, and they did it just south of Paris. So we were there for 2 weeks, and then they brought it back to New York, and they finished mixing in New York about 3 weeks ago, I guess. So I don't really know when the album will be out.
But it will be released in the States?
It'll be a worldwide release.
Great. Do you have any idea what label it's going to be on?
No, it's all completely independent. They financed it all themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
they're shopping around for the best deal. So it sounded pretty good to me, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. I hope something nice does, though, because it was the whole thing was more of a feeling than just sort of going over there to play chops. It was like a really nice thing to be involved in.
Was it a challenge as far as playing, or did they?
Oh yeah, it was. It really was, because it was odd in a few aspects as well, because they laid down a lot of the meat of the basic tracks
Mm-hmm.
with rhythm machines. Like they used drum synthesizers, the rolling machines, and that.
Right.
And in some instances, they wanted drums to be added purely as a sound.
Mm-hmm.
to enhance the rhythm that they'd already set up that they wanted, and in others they used the drum machine as a total freeing up of the drummer, right? So it's like I had a chance to just play all around it. It set up a basic feel, and you could just basically almost solo over top of it and just lay back and move with the tune. And I never actually got to play with any of them, except for one night we did a bit of jamming, but I never did any actual playing in the studio with any of them. It was all like I was over there for 2 weeks, and I was the only one in the studio. Yeah, so it was a little different. I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, the people made the project.
You didn't feel offended or anything by the use of the electronic drum machines? And
No. Well, I have to say I was you sort of get a little intimidated by that sort of thing, but because like working with click tracks is one thing, but working with a whole drum feel that's already been set up, that was a little new to me. But it was, I sort of approached it as, well, there's something positive to be learned out of this, so you're over here now.
Might as well do it, yeah.
You don't have much choice,
That's great.
But it worked out well. It was very nice, and like I said, it was a great group of people to work with, and I hope I get a chance to work with them again.